All right, ABC Direct Sales. You can see it's still dark out here. A few people just took off the mask and out here in Okinawa, Japan, so may have to put it back on for basic etiquette. We got a whole lot that we're covering, everybody, so make sure that you got your tools. Number one, gotta have it right here. Of course, if you're outside like me, make sure you got your thermos. Keep your beverage hot. And we're going to be talking about number one. Picking it up here again, ABC Direct Sales. We're going to be going from A to Z all the way through. Have a pen and paper for sure, because they're going to get all the secrets, if I could say that. There are no secrets, actually. We'll be talking about that later. But you're going to be getting all the goodies here. Nothing will be undisclosed. It will be available for the taking. So happy to be here. Hope everyone had a good week. We're going to be talking about number one on top of what we said last session. So what is number one? All right, so you're going to get the silhouette here, still on the dark side. So number one, we're talking about credibility. Credibility is absolutely key. Before we get into all the details later on about why it's so important and everything as such, we got to think about the application. The application starts with you being on absolute time. Secondly, with you making sure that you did your training, you did your fitness, you lifted weights, you ran 5-10 miles, did some swimming. Whatever it is that you do, you got to make sure that you got it done in the day, whether it's before or after you're selling, so that way you know you've been doing what you can do to take care of the number one priority, which is you. Got to take care of ourselves. Got to make sure we're selling ourselves way before we go trying to get 5, 10, 20 grand or more. We talked about that over the phone. So credibility. When you call back, you got your first appointment. Today's Tuesday, for example. You hit them a bunch of times Monday. You got a couple of appointments. You got them set. Now you're making your first appointment call. Again, this is just hypothetical, meaning that you've got through your leads on Monday. For some reason, Monday you didn't get any traction per se, didn't get a deal on Monday. No big deal. You just got your leads. So here we go. We're on Tuesday. Got a little bit of traction. Got our first appointment. Number one is you got it. You're going to be on time. You're going to call exactly at the time that you said. You said you're going to call at 6:30. The phone is going to ring at 6:30. 6:30. Rapport. Everybody talks about rapport being number one, so we do got to recognize once we get them on the phone, we do have to have rapport. However, if you got an appointment, when did the rapport start? When do you have rapport? You already got it, right? You're not going to have to play any silly games or talk about what their favorite sport is, or, oh, you're from LA, you must like the Lakers, or anything cheesy like that, because you are a professional salesman. You're a professional saleswoman. You already knocked that out the park. How did you do that? The very, very, very first call that you made, you built rapport. Period. Subconscious rapport. They're already a friend. They're already like a brother. They're already feeling like you've got their needs in mind. And we'll be talking about how all that works, of course, in full detail. So you already got past number one, which is getting rapport. Now we did the main thing, which is get them on the phone, got our leads going, we got them on the phone. So, what do we got to do once we get them on the phone? For some people and a lot of people, and actually ultimately, we do got to figure out quickly, do they got the money? Do they got money? Because what's the point of going through a 35, 45-minute presentation or a 20-minute pre-qualification or 45-minute pre-qualification, find out at the end of it, or even worse, days later, that they're broke. So we do got to figure out if they got money. Some people like to go straight for the throat, get the money. We'll talk about and sharing how you do that. I feel it's a little bit tacky to do that because sometimes you may find somebody that they don't know they got the money, but they got it, right? Or they're getting it. Or maybe they're a representative for someone that has money. So you got to be very careful that when you do go after the money from the get-go, which we can talk about that, you can do that in the first 20 seconds if you'd like. Otherwise, don't be tacky. Spend a couple of minutes with people recognizing that number one for you is going to be the time, and you don't want your first call to exceed more than 7 minutes if you're not going anywhere. So we got the 7-minute rule. That means your timer's going at 5 minutes into the call. If you're not getting any traction, they're not getting anybody biting, they're not responding for whatever reason for the call, they don't seem to be qualified or they've already disqualified themselves, then you gotta hit them hard, go for the throat. You got a 2-minute countdown. That means by 7 minutes, so within 5 minutes, if nothing's happening, you got a 2-minute countdown. You're going to go for the throat, figure out why you're calling them. You got their lead. Obviously, they're interested in what you have. The company that you got your leads from, or whoever you got your leads from, whether they're from you yourself, your own marketing platform, or whatever it is, they've raised their hand. They want to know more. They've already purchased something, hopefully. They're not calling a dead lead, right? They've already purchased something, put money down somewhere. That's why you're calling them. If for some reason they got their guard up and you just can't get through it, they've already shown that they're completely broke and busted up, and you know without a doubt, and so on. 5 minutes comes, get off the phone. Go to the next one. No point in killing yourself, beating yourself up over the head about that. Just move to the next lead if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, well, you gotta learn and just go through the whole process. Don't recommend it, but if you don't really know what you're doing, it's better than burning the lead because you think, oh, well, they're not really going anywhere, and you blame the lead and then disposition it, get rid of it, thinking it's not a deal or they're not qualified, and actually they were. You just didn't have the skill set to be able to dig it out. So again, unless you're absolutely sure, 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, if it's not going anywhere, hit them hard. Tough questions. Figure out why you're on the phone, why they're interested in your product, what it is about your product or service that they've already been enjoying. What are they looking to accomplish? What is the problem, the pain that they're trying to solve, right? That's why you're there. You're the problem solver. So once you figure that out, go ahead and continue into the process past 7 minutes. Otherwise, get off the phone. So to double back because it's we don't got any light here yet. To double back. Credibility. You're going to call on time. You're going to get them on the phone. Once you get them on that phone, you get them past the first 7 minutes. And if you're on the phone for more than 7 minutes, then there's a more than 50% chance that they're going to be a deal. Should be a lot higher than 50%. We'll be covering that. So, again, as we're moving along, A to Z, make sure you got your pen and paper. Make sure you've done your training. Make sure that you're taking care of number one, which is you, because credibility starts with who? You, right? So you got to sell yourself. And before you show up for your own meeting, make sure you're prepared. Have the energy. Be rested. And we'll see you again.